2K Sports pregame show.
Okay, basketball fans, with me, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Ernie Johnson. You're watching 2K Sports, but you know that already. Tonight, it'll be the Sacramento Kings up against the Houston Rockets. And for Houston, this is a game they'll want. A win will give them the fourth best record in the NBA. That's a nice designation to have. Closing out the season now, Kenny, a topic that's always under debate. How important is momentum heading into the playoffs?
Well, younger teams, it helps their confidence. You know, and veteran teams, sometimes they can just turn it on when it matters.
This is what I call basketball math. Some clubs choose health over momentum, but all other things being equal, momentum matters. It's like E equals MC squared.
That's what I was
almost exactly like that.
Yeah, right. And the Pythagorean theory.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
So A equals C.
No, A is greater than C.
C is greater than A.
That might be true.
I didn't think there was going to be none. Here's Kevin Harlan.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA. Welcome, everyone, to this 2K Sports broadcast live from the capital city of California, Sacramento. I'm Kevin Harlan, along with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, our terrific analysts, and David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. The Houston Rockets coming to this one after a win against Sacramento, and they pulled off a three-point win in that one. Too close for comfort, but they'll take it.
And this is why depth is so important. You know, next man up, and it's pretty much the philosophy for every good team in our league.
So you're going to have injuries. You're going to have nights where there's foul troubles or the starters just struggle. So you need a strong bench to remain consistent in this league.
And we've got time for a quick pregame report. With that being said, let's head to the sideline and our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. D.A.?
Well, guys, we know James Harden hits that step-back three a lot, and Mike D'Antoni says most coaches would think, okay, he had a tough shot, live with it. That's some hard living. But it's one of the most lethal shots in the game. Kevin?
Yeah, with that pump fake, he can get to the free throw line too, D.A. There's just no answer. Teams are trying to finish the season, Brent, with some energy. The reduction of back-to-backs has obviously helped make that a reality.
Well, Adam Silver deserves a ton of credit for approaching the schedule change the way he has the past couple of seasons.
Thinking about the quality of the game.
Yeah, because it is. The quality of the product to make sure that your star players can play as many games as possible. And it's still extremely difficult for those guys to get up for 82 games. They still need their rest. But at least the league has addressed it. The league has given more opportunities for guys to find quality rest in between competition. And hopefully we'll see more players have health. We've not seen that translate into health, but I hope it happens this season.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. And so in the game for the Rockets, Paul and Gordon are the backcourt pair. Chris is out there with Clint Capella. And it's Harden in at the three, the small forward. And so Young will bring it up for the Sacramento Kings. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with San Antonio.
And no issues with how they played. I mean, the problem simply is they just couldn't finish.
Maybe the post-game comments will be about playing a 50-minute game. They could have used 2 more minutes in this one.
And so it's the Kings getting on the board first. Harden outside.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the three. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
To the middle. Now, here's Bagley. 20 points for him last game against San Antonio.
And he also positioned himself perfectly to grab all those rebounds, guys. Can't forget about the fundamentals. Yeah, the defense cannot afford to be that lazy. You got to be up on the shooters at all times, especially at the mid-range.
And the basket by Harden.
It doesn't matter how a defense plays him. Harden is going to make sure that that three-point shot is a primary weapon.
Now, here is Young. 29 points for him last game against San Antonio. Caldwell poke kicks to Henson. Young against Paul.
the defense, not so good. And when you're deep inside like that, you got to come through.
Harden outside. Back to Paul. Lob pass to Capella. And the dunk by Capella.
Unselfish play of Chris Paul there. Has a knack for knowing when to get his guys when they're wide open.
And a tremendous Unleash Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Havoc. Now here's Caldwell Pope. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. Pass to Young. Nailed from three-point land.
And this is why Young is so dangerous. He just gets that shot off so fast before the defense can react.
Harden against Caldwell Pope. Harden with it. Really played well against Sacramento in his last outing. Fires at the elbow. And again, the Rockets good for two.
Just love to see Chris Paul operate in that area. Slows himself down. Great balance. That's one of his many strengths.
Ball against Young. Knocked away. Shot clock at 6. Shoots the three. Sacramento gets it back. Hield from outside. And the three ball is good. Hield's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. And it's Harden with the ball for the Rockets. They trail by 1. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Caldwell Pope.
And checking out the stats for James Harden. Over the last month, he has been spectacular. Putting up 26 points per, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds. They're loving how he's running the show here. His sensational passing really breathing life into their offense.
Something in the coach's playbook here where the schemes fire on all cylinders. When he is in the game, great conduit for them offensively. He knows where everyone is at all times.
For Houston, they've gone 3 of 7 from the field since we've gotten underway. Ball against Young. Right at the free throw line. Offensive rebound.
Oh, a nice tip in to salvage the points from that missed shot.
And those second chance points can add up. Timeout is called. First of the game for Sacramento.
And the 6'11" Clint Capella, just a phenomenal athlete. The mobility at that center spot is something really so crucial in today's game where every team is looking to expose big men on the perimeter.
Sacramento's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. Young against Paul.
Just doesn't seem to be shooting it with confidence, and his shots are going all over the place in this period.
Kicks it out to Harden. There's the 3. Here's Chris. And it's off from three-point range. The Kings trailing. DiVincenzo guarded by Harden. Young against Paul. Young up top. He's a solid producer, averaging nearly 22 points a game. And here's Harden. There's the triple. Knocked loose.
Yeah, his shot just doesn't seem to be synced up right now. Here's hoping he finds it soon because his team is really going to need that production tonight.
DiVincenzo guarded by Harden. That shot is off. Down low. Now Young. Hield outside. Paul against Young, and Chris Paul picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Young against Paul. Knocks it loose. Shot clock at 5. Here's Bagley. And And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And really the potential Bagley has is so exciting. Just an absolute menace on both ends. And you can tell he wants to be great.
Sacramento shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one. That's good from Bagley. And the Kings not just rebuilding the roster, Brett, but also the franchise's reputation.
Well, agents and executives in the past year have been a little frustrated with the fickle leadership coming from the Sacramento Kings. And, eventually those perceptions matter.
Both shots good from the stripe. So it's the Rockets now. They trail by 1. This time they met in Houston.
And they scratched out a close win the last time these two teams met. I think their ability to attack and create foul trouble for the opposition was a real factor.
Well, it was, because they got to play a lot of the second half against the second unit. The guys that ordinarily would have been out there were stuck on the bench with all those fouls.
And here's Harden following the three-pointer by Trae Young. Paul passes to Harden. Kicks to Gordon. Passes to Paul. 6 on the shot clock. Lets it go from 14. That one falls.
Well, poised play from Chris Paul. Alliteration at its finest, too, Kevin. Clock winding down. He knocks it in.
Bagley with the ball. Working on Chris. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. The league no longer wants to reward offensive players who throw themselves into defenders. Have you seen a big change in how those players, Brent, are being called?
I think the league's doing a better job of it, trying to examine when it is.
Seems that way, you're right.
Somebody gets up in the air and the offensive player leans in or kicks out and tries to draw some kind of contact. So it's been up to the referees. They've been diligent with it. I think they'll just get better with time.
That free throw, no good. Dave Joerger in his 3rd season with the Kings. Before that, 9 seasons, Brent, in Memphis, with 3 of those being the Grizzlies head coach.
Yeah, an interesting end to his time in Memphis as things just kind of went awry between him and management. But the personnel decisions is what it came down to. And he has a fresh start in Sacramento with a very young, very energetic team that needs some direction. Maybe Dave Joerger, the guy to get the job done.
Now here's Paul. His numbers are looking pretty good. He's got his scoring average up around 18.5 points a game. Bagley with the rebound. Sacramento's gone 3 of 5 from three-point land so far in the ballgame. And there's the foul. It'll go on P.J. Tucker. That's his first foul. Knights checked in for the Rockets. Here's Bagley. They count on his contributions, currently providing 16.5 points a game. Robinson. Some solid defense there by Nene. And here's Knight. He'll bring it up for Houston. Trailing by 2. Harden kicks to Green. Overhealed, and that one's good. Green's got his first points in this one.
When the guy is capable of so many things like that on the offensive end, anytime you lose sight of him, he's got a huge advantage.
Young finds Hield. There's Bagley. 5 to shoot. It's over Tucker. Bagley with the bucket. And the Kings lead by 2.
And you can tell Bagley knows his strengths on offense and does a great job playing to them.
Now, here is Harden. Hard to imagine, but the stats are tremendous as he averages close to 27 points a game. Rebounded by Tucker. The Rockets shooting in this first quarter around 38%. They're looking a bit creaky out there. Nene outside. Harden inside the three-point line. No good on that one. And Sacramento will go the other way with it. DiVincenzo. Another three for Sacramento.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Tucker with the ball. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Off target at the rim.
The defense was in the area, but not really effective. He has to put away this lane.
The dish to Robinson. And it's Robinson with the jam.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. Now, here is Harden. It's stolen. They kick out to Hield. And another three for Sacramento.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triple.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets.
Yeah, it's a good time to talk things over. Try to stop what's been a brutal run.
Yeah, he's got to use every device at his disposal at this point, and I think he wants to give other guys a breather right now.
Big group substitution here for Sacramento. John Henson's checked in for Robinson. Pascal Siakam comes in for Bagley. Allen's checked in for Buddy Hield. And Farrell subbed in for Young. And a switch here also for Houston. Ennis is checked in. Now here's Green. Boy, that win against the Kings. He's another guy who really showed up to play. Nene kicks to Ennis. Just 5 to shoot. Over Allen. No good off the back of the rim. Kings leading now by 10. To the paint. Rebound by Ennis.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
Green deciding where to go with it. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Getting open in the NBA, not an easy task, and there are a lot of players that are so good moving off the ball.
I think the first couple guys that come to mind are J.J. Redick and Kyle Korver. Old school style in which they operate like a Rip Hamilton. And if you go back, Mitch Richmond, where they're using a multitude of screens, seemingly never stopping during an offensive possession and causing some kind of confusion. So J.J. and Kyle Korver are still doing exemplary jobs of off-ball movement.
And he makes the first. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. There's 1:40 left to play here in the first. Farrell kicks to Siakam. Pass to Henson. The pass to Farrell. The Rockets pull it in. And here's Ennis. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. From 13 and misses it off the right side of the rim. Kings leading now by 8. DiVincenzo, headed by Green. Oh, and here we go. Green's got it. The fast break chance. Here's Tucker. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket.
Yeah, how about the purpose with which he's crashing the backboards right now? Some hard-earned second chance points.
Farrell passes to Allen. Here's Siakam. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Ennis with the ball. He's against Allen. It's good. Now just a 4-point Sacramento lead.
Knight not giving up. Even if you try to body him up, he's committed to the score.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Pass to Farrell. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Tries a 3. Great tee that time from Green. Knight taking his time here. Fires from deep. And we reached the end of the first quarter. It's Sacramento up by 4. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. Rockets elevated by James Harden to one of the league's powerhouse franchises, and he talks about seizing the moment.
This time isn't going to last long. You know, we have a window. It goes by extremely fast. I cherish these moments. You know, I embrace them.
Never a guarantee that the window will remain open.
And superstar players, let's face it, they're best remembered for their championships. It's all about the rings if you're James Harden.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And let's quickly break down the game we've been watching for the Kings, guys.
You saw it. That barrage of threes has them grooving here after one.
Well, they found a little bit of space out there on the perimeter, and they have a shared confidence right now. That tends to breed some success for this team.
We've got Allen. Farrell is out there with Robinson. And it's Siakam in at the 4 slot. So that's the 5 in the game for Sacramento. Now, here is Knight to the inside. Out that one, the Sacramento lead has been cut down now to just 4 in the basket from Nene.
Knight with a good job in the pick and roll, outstanding at getting through the defense and then using the pass.
Robinson against Knight. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Tucker. Outside Knight. Here in the second quarter with a little over a minute gone. Kings leading now by 4. Tipped away and stolen by Knight. And it's Houston on the break. Knight's running. He kicks it to Ennis. Back to Knight. Nene, the pass to Ennis. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Outside Robinson. Allen outside. Passes to Farrell. Pocket 6. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
For Sacramento, they have gone 2 of 4 at the free throw line.
Yeah, and over the course of the season, they're a respectable 78%. That comes in handy in close games.
First one falls for him. Houston with a big group substitution here. Clint Capella, he's checked in for Nene. Marquise Chris comes in for P.J. Tucker. Eric Gordon, he's checked in for Green. And Chris Paul's subbed in for Knight. And good on the second, so he makes them both. Gets trailed by 4. Gordon deciding where to go with it. Kicks it to Paul. Shot from 16. Can't hit that one. Now Sacramento takes it the other way. They've led by as much as 10. Following this one, they get to host the Cavaliers. That'll be the latter half of this 2-game homestand. Here's Farrell. He's coming off a 10-point game against San Antonio. And Capella sends it back. And it's Houston on the break. Chris, it's good on the putback. Chris has got his first bucket of the night.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Sacramento's gone 5 of 8 from three-point land. 15 points and a deep ball for them tonight.
You know, when Chris Paul came to the Rockets, a lot of people questioned if he and James Harden would be able to share the ball. Both known for being ball-dominant guards. I think you'd have to say it's worked out pretty well.
And so it's Paul bringing it up for the Rockets. Trailing by 2. That ties the game. 6 points for Clint Capella.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Kings have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. And I think Chris Paul never comfortable with that ball-dominant label, Greg. He'd never played with another guard who could create, certainly on the level of Harden.
No doubt about it. I mean, Mo P, J.J. Redick, guys who were great shooters, but really more off-the-ball players. Chris needed to be that kind of a playmaker, but with Harden, he has someone just as gifted at creating baskets for himself and others.
Here's Robinson after Clint Capella's bucket. Sacramento moving it around. Pass to Siakam. And Capella sends it back. And now here's Ennis, the fast break opportunity. Off target from outside. It's a neck-and-neck game here in Sacramento. DiVincenzo. That one doesn't go. Gordon with the defensive effort. Inside. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Allen surveying the D. Here's Farrell, defended by Paul. 6 to shoot. Allen dishes to Robinson. He gets it in there. Robinson's got it all tied up now for the Kings.
Well, passing is something he does very well, especially when it comes to leading his man to the right spot.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
At the start of the summer, many expected a busy market for Capella in free agency. Eventually, though, signing a 4-year deal to remain with the Rockets. I feel like it's a great deal for Houston as Capella gives them the perfect inside presence to complement Harden and Paul.
Shooting 2.
No good on that one. And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Kings. And the Rockets making a change here as well. James Harden. He's checked in for Ennis. And he sinks the second. Kings have gone only 2 of 7 from the field since the second quarter got underway. Knocks it loose. Hield left side. Caldwell Pope for 3. And Paul pulls it down.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
Now the pass to Chris. Paul finds Capella. Outside Gordon. Pass to Capella. Shot clock at 6. The Rockets with another miss. Sacramento's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Caldwell Pope feeling it out a bit. He dishes it to Hield. Here's Bagley. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
And how about the strength on display there? Even when you whack Bagley, he's outstanding at fighting through it.
The Kings shooting their 7th attempt at the foul line in this one.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
Rockets trail. Al Paul. 9 points last game out. Capella kicks to Gordon. Releases with nobody on him. He buries the jumper. Gordon's got his first bucket of the night.
And they run the pick and roll right there to perfection as Gordon gets the shot to go.
Now here's Henson. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Bagley. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Yeah, the defender all over it.
The Kings have missed 2 free throws in the game, going 5 for 7. 2 shots. The first one falls, and the Rockets making a change here. Tucker's checked in. No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. The Rockets have gone 6 of 10 from the floor here in the second quarter. To the paint, it's stolen by Bagley. Caldwell Pope passes to Hield. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. That one's on Eric Gordon.
Well, Hield's center of gravity stays low on his drive, which invites the contact, in my opinion. Very tough to defend him cleanly. Well, Buddy Hield, not the biggest or most athletic player that's on the floor, but his work ethic is undeniable. He is a total gym rat. At Oklahoma, they had to lock up the balls. Otherwise, the guy would stay there all day long and all night.
And he knocks down the first one. And Hield grew up in the Bahamas. The story goes they didn't have a court until he turned 12, so he built hoops out of whatever he could find.
Yeah, and whatever he found consisted of milk crates or bicycle rims that had rusted up, and he'd nail them up and shoot every shot he could at them, and they would get torn down, and he'd rebuild them again and again. He's shown that same determination in building up his game at the NBA level.
And there's Eric Gordon on the assist by Paul. Gordon's got the game tied up here for Houston.
Great finish from Gordon in traffic. You like to see the smaller guys operate down low as long as they're patient. And you can't afford to be that careless. They need him out there on the floor, so he has to avoid fouling again in this period.
For Sacramento, they have gone 7 of 11 from the line. That free throw good from Young.
And the comparisons to Steph Curry, it's understandable. Young's shooting ability is off the chart.
And so Young nails them both.
Kevin, these are easy points. Remember, free throws.
Paul dishes to Harden. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
This is an area where Chris Paul has been solid every year, always right around 90% from the charity stripe.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Blue shots.
And that one falls for Paul. So Paul nails both of them. Kings have gone just 33% from the field in what's been a cold second quarter for them. That's 3 of 9. Now, here is Young, guarded by Tucker. Down low, here's Bagley.
Liking the vision there from Caldwell Pope, looking to get his guys going when they're open.
And Henson sends it back. Young against Paul. Hield plays it up and banks it in. And now a 4-point Sacramento lead.
That's some good interior passing, and that's how you move it on the inside.
Paul with the ball, and Young picks him up defensively. Gordon finds Capella. Goes back up. And Henson pulls it down. Henson's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Bagley with the bucket. Bagley's got 8 points in the quarter.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Rockets trail by 6. Harden the pass to Paul. Caldwell Pope against Harden. And it's Capella missing.
And a little frustration now, missing on the catch and flush.
Sometimes the easy play is the right play. You take a chance when you go for that big finish.
And not the guy you want to send to the line. He has been automatic.
The Kings have gone 9 of 13 from the line. That's good from Young. Brandon Knight, he's checked in for Gordon. And so Young nails them both. Harden with it. He kicks it to Capella. Ball looking over the floor. Will it go? That one a little long.
Well, he's gotten shots up, but they're not finding the rim. The squad's suffering because of it right now. A bit out of rhythm.
Heel dishes to Bagley. No good that time. And it's Houston the other way. Harden outside. Passes it to Knight. Kicks it out to Harden. That's good. The assist that time from Knight. 6 points for James Harden.
Yeah, you got your shooters and you have your scorers, but James Harden is both.
They get a hand on it and taken away by Paul. Drops in the breakaway layup. Now it's just a 3-point Sacramento lead.
And that's such good work to make this a one-possession game. Terrific steal to get it all started.
Now here's Bagley. Defense right on him. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. So it's Sacramento. Henson the pass to Bagley. Healed against Knight. Just 5 to shoot. Bangs home the trifecta.
And this is Young at his very best. Once he gets a few to fall, boy, watch out.
Paul with the ball, and Young picks him up defensively. It's good. 8 points for James Harden.
A tough start scoring the basketball, but they're starting to turn it around now.
And Young kicks to Bagley. Pass to Caldwell Pope, and here's Bagley. The pass to Henson. Shoots over Capella. The shot's good from Henson. Henson's got his first points of the night.
Defensively, you want to force Henson away from the rim, but you also have to get up on him in the mid-range.
Capella, good. It's Harden with the assist that time. That gives him the double-double. 11 points and 10 rebounds. Sacramento leading by 4. 1:21 left to play in the first half. And the foul called on Brandon Knight. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. Shooting for Sacramento. Buddy Hield. 2 shots. And he knocks down the first one.
And Hield is a player who you love to see take trips to the free throw line, as consistent as he is there.
Houston making some changes. Nene comes in for Clint Capella, and it's Gerald Green in for Paul. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. There's 1:17 left in the first half of basketball. Nene finds Green, and Green slams it in.
Kevin, he is tough to stop when he gets to the rim.
Yeah, Greg, he can get up a few notches higher. Young pass to Hield. Bagley with the ball. Guarded by Green. Now here's Henson. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot two here.
A lottery pick back in 2012, John Henson has pretty much flown under the radar except around the rim. People understand just how effective he can be there. A quality defender and rim protector.
And the first one drops.
Whether as a starter or a defensive asset off the bench, Henson's willing to play whatever role the team needs him to.
Henson hits them both. And here is Knight. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. It's stolen by Hield.
If they play it right, we're talking a 2-for-1.
Yeah, this is where it comes down to really good clock management, and you want to maximize each of your possessions.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
He's made 3 of his 4 free throw attempts in the game.
An 89% free throw shooter puts him right there among the league's best from the line.
Free throw drops for Hield. So he gets them both. 36 seconds left here in the second. Hield against Knight. It's Harden with the drive. Yes, and Knight with the assist that time. Knight's got 3 assists tonight.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
Young taking his time here. Six on the shot clock. And so it's the Sacramento Kings with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. And they've done a phenomenal job down low. So many of their points coming right at the rim. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Alongside Dave Yeager, Coach, how do you keep up the defensive pressure and slow down their offense?
We got to just try to keep them in front of us and shoot jumpers, and then no second chances.
Rebounding is your team's strength. Thanks, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. This home crowd is elated about what they've seen so far. I'm Ernie Johnson. That's Shaquille O'Neal. That's Kenny Smith. A pretty close game for the Kings throughout the first quarter. They never trailed by more than 3 points, and it was neck and neck the entire period. And guys, for the Kings, Kenny, what did you see from them?
The differential is the free throw attempts. And that's one of the big stories in this game tonight. They were being so aggressive and so smart that all they could do on the defensive end was foul.
And Shaq, let's get your input on the Rockets.
Well, their perimeter defense is falling apart. Guys aren't fighting over screens, closing out on shooters. I mean, you know, when you're playing a team that gets this hot from behind the arc, you got to body up on the shooters and try to close them down. Their defense needs to extend outward in the second half.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
We've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. It's been one outstanding game from Trae Young.
Yeah, great job from him in that first half of drawing fouls and getting to the line.
Well, that is a great equalizer here. You want him to play that physical, but how do you do that without creating too much contact?
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. Kings leading now by 6. And on the floor for Mike D'Antoni starting the second half. Paul and Gordon are the backcourt pair. Harden out there with Nene, and it's Capella in at the 5 down low. Now here's Bagley.
And something we always talk about, though, shot selection.
Well, being aggressive is one thing, but aggression with control is another, and you need both elements working together.
Now here's Gordon. After the miss from Trae Young. And the basket by Gordon.
Ooh, that three-pointer right there hurts. The former Indiana Hoosier really can bury those threes in bunches.
Young dishes to Henson. On the wing, Hield. Defended by Gordon. Hield kicks to Young. And Capella sends it back. Justin Nene. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got 4 assists in the game. Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. Young against Paul. Pass to Hield. Back to Young. Clock at 6.
Even though he's been off, the team's still winning, so the hope is that he's going to get going.
Ball against Young for the lead. Again, the Rockets score.
Well, right now, the defense completely uncomfortable in guarding pick and rolls with Chris Paul. He loves to dice up the D in those sets.
Hield kicks to Henson. Young against Paul. Here's Henson. That one good for 2.
Finally, they get one to drop. That's one of their first 4 here in the third.
Ball finds Capella. Now Harden over Caldwell Pope. Misses off the right iron.
And after burying 3 straight shot opportunities, finally a miss there. Still feeling the momentum, though.
A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. Ball against Young.
And I bet you'll never see too many guys who can put forth an effort on the boards like this one.
Yeah, just scanning the box score and looking at the rebound total tonight, I don't believe it. Shows the absolute passion he has for that part of the game. I like the defensive effort. They did a good job altering the mid-range shot and then making the shooter feel a bit uneasy.
Caldwell Pope kicks to Hield. Pass to Young. The 3. Again, Young missing.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Harden scanning the floor. Paul Paul against Young. Over Young. That misses off the backboard. Sacramento's gone past the three-point line for 13 of their shots. 6 of 13. Healed the pass to Young and taken away by Paul. He feeds it to Capella, and the dunk by Capella. As we approach the fourth quarter, still anyone's ballgame.
Yeah, neither team able to create much of a cushion.
Timeout called by the Kings.
Yeah, it looked like they tried to shoot their way out of the slump, and that didn't work. They got to go back and regroup.
Well, no matter how hard it's been, you want to stay positive, stay focused, and maybe a couple shots will get you right back in it.
So both teams changing it up here. Gordon against Hield. It's Young on the wing. Back to Hield. Sacramento moving it around. And it's Robinson with the jam.
Oh, I love that dish down low.
And it's Paul with the ball for the Rockets. Just 4 points. That's all they've given up here in the second half. Kicks it to Ennis. Three-pointer. Sacramento grabs the miss. Bagley's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Young against Paul. Shots good from Young.
And a depth mid-range shooter as well. All Young needs is a little breathing room, and he set the fire.
Now the pass to Ennis. Nene with it. Paul outside. He kicks to Gordon. Misses the three.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
I think coaches right here are always talking about the extra pass. And a contested three is not your objective. One more, maybe.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
And the call will be against Marvin Bagley. That's his first foul. Here's Nene. He gets that one. Nene's got 4 this quarter.
Look at the intensity of Nene, one of the strongest guys in the game. Phenomenal at scoring the ball inside.
And Robinson throws it down hard.
Beautiful reverse jam right there.
Use the rim to protect the ball, I think. All up top, defended by Young. And with that shot, the Kings lead is cut down to 3 on the bucket from Chris Paul.
Yeah, so good with the handle is Chris Paul, putting the D on its heels.
Young outside, pass to Hield. Over Chris, and again it's Sacramento converting.
Well, Hield is a tough defensive assignment because he can get at you in many ways. He'll hurt you with the shot, and he'll hurt you with the drive.
Now here's Paul. 12 points for him. Passes it to Chris. Just 5 on the clock. Pass to Ennis. Fires the 3. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. They've led by as much as 10. There's the pass to Young. Ball's knocked loose and taken away by Paul. Feeds it to Gordon. He gets it in there. Gordon's got 9.
Commending the unselfish play there. What vision on that pass.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento. Houston making some changes. P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Nene. Green comes in for James Ennis. And it's Brandon Knight in for Eric Gordon. Kings leading now by 3. Hield kicks to Robinson. Back to Young. Just 5 on the clock. The Kings need to get off a shot here. And what was that about? Not a good shot right there. Rockets trail by 3. Knight finds Green. Pass to Paul. Riz up top. Back to Paul. He scores his 6th bucket from the floor with that one. He's shot the ball 11 times.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
Healed the pass to Robinson. Knight against Young. Now Paul. He's got 14. And P.J. Tucker, Greg, a rugged physical defender at the forward.
And here's the guy, 2nd-round pick back at 06. Spent 5 seasons playing abroad before making his return to the association. Now he's a seasoned veteran and not shy about holding his teammates accountable, especially defensively.
Here's Young after the Rockets pick up 3. Looking to end the run. Chris with the rebound. Houston's gone 2 of 5 with the 3-point shot since coming out of the break. Got that one up quick. Now it's a 4-point Rocket lead.
Well, Knight confident shooting it off the pass.
Sacramento's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Young against Paul. Passes it to Hield. Chris Paul picks up the foul. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. And the Kings will go for a different look here. Henson's checked in for Robinson. Pascal Siakam comes in for Bagley. Allen's checked in for Buddy Hield. And Farrell's subbed in for Young. On defense, Houston, 4-point game. Pulls up on the elbow. It's rebounded by Houston.
Just a little lackluster so far with his effort. He's been very limited due to his poor shooting.
Kicks it out to Paul. At the top of the key, Knight. Outside, Green. To the inside. 4 on the clock. Here's Tucker. And again, the Rockets good for 2.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. Sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
Timeout called by the Kings.
And I like this timeout. You're getting terrible rim protection right now.
Well, you got to ask your team to give you a little bit more effort because there's just not a lot of fire on the defensive end.
In for Houston. In a moment here to highlight some of the best and brightest from beyond the stripe. 5th on the list, James Harden.
What a percentage that is for him from 3-point range this season. His deep touch is about as good as you're going to see.
The Kings trail by 6. Farrell looking around. Knight against Allen. And Siakam has it in the corner. And Henson kicks to Farrell. To stop the drought. The Rockets pull it in.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
Sacramento's gotten the 3-point bug tonight. They've taken 15 shots outside the arc. 6 of 15. Now the feed to Allen. Here's Farrell. He's guarded by Knight. And stolen by Knight. They push it up. 4 on 3. He feeds it to Green.
Good court awareness that time from Brandon Knight. He's a creative guard who has a good feel for when his guys are open.
And that Unleash Chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Cover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play. Here's Farrell. Chris with the rebound. Chris has got his 4th rebound in this one. Now, here's Green. 8 points for him. Knight on the wing. And Houston again with the bucket.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
DiVincenzo, covered by Chris. And he gets the bucket. He has 5.
Look at the space he had on that one, though. There's an obvious speed mismatch between the two.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Here's Tucker. Sacramento grabs the miss. Hudson's got 9 rebounds now tonight. Over in the corner, Allen. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's going to be on James Harden.
Shooting for Sacramento. Grayson Allen. 2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And that one falls for Allen. And Allen drops them both. Launches a 3. Headshot off. And so it's Houston with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. Their defense has been active and effective. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. And a quick look now at the State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, a great job with the eyes. And what separates great playmakers, as we know, Greg, is peripheral vision.
And I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the 4th quarter. We've got Farrell. Robinson is out there with Allen. And it's Siakam in at the 4. That's the 5 out there for the Kings.
I see him.
Back to Green. Sacramento grabs the miss.
And somehow, some way, he couldn't get that one to fall from in between. Got to take advantage of the weak defense when you can.
Pass to Farrell. Kings moving the ball around. Allen kicks to Farrell. Shot clock at 6. There's the 3. Rebounded by Tucker. Rockets leading by 6. Harden left side. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. Harden's got the 4th quarter started here with a bucket for the Rockets. And for Sacramento, they're shooting not great, 40% for the game. Allen outside. The pass to Robinson. Here's Farrell. Over Green. Rebounded by Capella. Capella's got rebound number 13 with that last one. Harden finds Tucker, and he dunks it down.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
When you're playing from behind, you cannot let your opponent have things that are that easy, and that was easy.
Sacramento with the ball. The Rockets making the shot. DiVincenzo. Offensive rebound. Here's Farrell, guarded by Green, and stolen by Chris. Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. Outside, Green. Harden outside, lets it go from deep. A three-pointer is right on target.
And each bucket at this point feels like a backbreaker.
Well, to win at this level consistently, you cannot be faint of heart, and he's going in for the kill.
Now, here is Robinson. Pass to Farrell. And it's Marquise Chris with the foul. That's his 5th foul.
That's a tough call, but he has to be better in avoiding contact on that play. That's his 5th foul, and one more, it'll be hitting the showers.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Gordon's checked in for P.J. Tucker, and it's Paul in for Gerald Green.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
DiVincenzo, guarded by Harden, and taken away by Paul. To the paint, here's Gordon. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. And 11 points for Eric Gordon.
I love the pace he's playing with, letting his offense come to him naturally and then building upon this lead for his team.
It's Allen with the drive, but they get it back. Right side Robinson, clock at 6. Allen kicks to Farrell. Sacramento again missing.
That's like milk on a hot day, just a bad decision. Absolutely no reason for him to be taking those shots. Man, it seemed like Marquise Chris was not going to be denied, and he wasn't.
And here's Farrell. He'll bring it up for the Sacramento Kings. They have yet to put up any points here in the 4th. Shot to stop the run. Robinson kicks to Farrell. DiVincenzo, defended by Gordon. Outside Robinson. DiVincenzo. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. Rockets leading by 17. Gordon with it. Out to Chris. Jacks up a 3. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Outside Robinson. Paul with the steal. And here comes Harden, leading the fast break. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got assist number 9 now. Wow, what an effort here tonight. Sacramento's gone ice cold from three-point land, 0 of 4 since the start of the final quarter. Farrell passes to Robinson. Allen outside. In the corner, Farrell. Drops in the tray.
And in nailing the 3 there, he puts a lid on what's been a huge run by the Rockets.
Rockets have gone 7 of 9 from the field down the stretch here in the 4th quarter. Terrific shooting. Now, here's Capella. Paul. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
They are now showing NBA games in virtual reality. You and I have actually seen some examples of that. They can recreate almost any angle. Have you gotten a headset?
I haven't gotten a headset, Kevin, but I have watched it. You and I have talked about it several times.
Many times.
It's an amazing experience, and it will only get better. But I really think about if I was a kid growing up in Germany or Italy, and I had an opportunity to pull on a pair of goggles and to watch the game's greatest players from a seat at half court or the cameras that they set up underneath the goal at either end. What a fantastic way to be enveloped by the NBA game.
It's a cool view.
It's a very cool view, and it's only going to get better.
Yeah, easy call.
2 shots, gentlemen.
Tearaway warm-ups have long been a feature of the NBA, but last season the new tearaway jerseys, they just kept ripping apart.
The old uniform malfunction, Kevin, last year. Yeah, maybe
you even had a couple malfunctions, and that was odd.
Well, the tie, bad tie.
Yeah.
I always have bad ties. I think they're looking back at the material choices for what they're doing. So maybe there'll be some subtle changes into this year. But it was interesting in the early part of last year. A lot of guys with a finger underneath the arm and pulling away a jersey and ripped away. So maybe the supplier will do something about the fabric this year.
Good on the second free throw. Guys are slimming down, it seems, Brent, to play at a faster pace. And we hear more and more players are using a plant-based diet now.
Vegan-style players.
Maybe not quite to that extent, but they are certainly very, very cautious about what they're putting in their body.
I think we just hear more stories about some of the things that players are trying in order to get themselves to their athletic peak. And one of those things, of course, one of the most important things is the fuel that you're going to put into your body, because that's your only tool. So I think guys just pay a little bit more attention to how it is they're feeding the system.
The Rockets making a switch here. Nene's checked in. And Sacramento has possession. He swipes the ball away again. And that's his 6th steal of the night.
Imposing his will at the defensive end. An even stronger second half. Tremendous efficiency at the offensive end of the floor.
Hield kicks to Bagley. Young against Paul. Now, here is Young. Defense is right there. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Bagley. Again, the miss by the Kings.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Paul finds Harden. Outside Gordon. Harden outside. The shot will not fall. Sacramento's gone into a funk from downtown in the fourth. Only one of their 5 3-pointers has found the bottom of the bucket. Hield against Gordon. Now here's Hield. Tight defense on him. For the 3. They get it again. Here's Bagley. Up and in from the low block.
And how about the persistence on the backboard? Love how hard Bagley works on the offensive glass. Wants to outwork everybody.
And that one, good. Harden's got 9 points now in just the second half.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
And for Sacramento, their shooting has been wayward so far. Only 37% from the floor. Hield the pass to Young.
Well, after an impressive first half, he's just not been able to get the room or get anything going here in the second.
Paul against Young. Paul kicks to Gordon. Well, we know that Dr. James Naismith came up with the idea when he was teaching at the YMCA. But as far as skill development, Brent, some feel that maybe in the skill category that the USA has fallen behind a little bit. Do you agree?
I think what the United States is doing on that level between your late grade school years and AAU programs in particular and your high school years that they're trying to address this issue and get ahead of it a little bit. For years, there was a 10-year or 15-year gap about European players being schooled and being in institutions where they were basically young professionals from the age of 12 to 14 having school and basketball and being at a facility for just those things specifically. The last few years, there's been a lot of concern with players being more adept and more skilled here in the States. The change is coming.
Here is Harden following the basket by Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Healed outside. Here's Caldwell-Pope. Rockets with the rebound. Chris has got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Caldwell-Pope against Harden. On the wing, Eric Gordon. Shoots. Here's Nene. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
Defensively, you cause the miss, but then you have to corral it.
Well, that's the second part of the equation there. Block out, be aggressive, and control the glass.
Now, here is Young. Bagley with a wide open look. Offline with his 3. And here is Paul. Inside. And Chris throws it down.
Oh, such a beautiful pass to set that one up.
Yeah, the pass might have been pretty, but the finish was angry. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Healed outside. Here's Siakam, and he bangs it home with one hand.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Now here's Paul. 1:27 left in the 4th. Over Young. Paul's shot is off. And for Sacramento, they're shooting at 36% on the night. They've got to step it up offensively.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Rockets.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And in the win-loss column, tonight's game will push their record up to 54 wins on the year.
And they cap off the season series with one more win. It's been nothing but W's, 4 straight.
And guys, one of the steady and outstanding players putting in another impressive performance. It was a big-time outing for Chris Paul.
Really liked the ball movement all night long. He was excellent at setting the table for his guys. Table for 4.
Now here's Hield. Harden missing his last shot. Hield dishes to Young. Knocked away. 30 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And it's Harden with the ball for Houston. Nene outside. Chris finds Paul. Passes it to Nene. Back to Paul. Out to Chris. Pass to Nene. So we see Houston taking the W here. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with James Harden. James, what is it like when you're playing a team that's struggling and you have to keep focused to keep them down?
You know what? We look at the bigger picture, and we have one goal at the end of the season, that's to be champions. So we can't play down to the level of our competition. You know, we got to go out there every single night and be on the same page and try to give 100% effort.
It's been a success so far, James. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David. Thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.